The story opens by introducing a team led by Michael Foster, a former soldier who now works for the Haya agency. He has been assigned to Somalia, a country still struggling to recover after years of civil war and instability. Michael's mission is to oversee the construction of a dam, a project meant to bring electricity to local communities and help restore stability to the region. Michael does not travel alone. He is accompanied by two trusted allies, Terry, a former pilot who now serves as his right hand, and Dutch, an old friend and fellow former soldier. Together, the three of them begin their journey toward a military base in Somalia to finalize the contract tied to the mission. Along the way, they come across a woman whose car has broken down in the middle of the road.
Hold it right there. Hands where I can see them.
After Terry checks the vehicle, he realizes the damage is severe and impossible to fix on the spot. With night approaching and the surrounding forest posing real danger, Michael decides to bring the woman along with them. During the journey, Michael begins to learn more about her. Her name is Amelia, a journalist who came to Somalia to cover the country's peace negotiations. She explains that before meeting them, she was robbed and lost her money, phone, passport, and all her important documents. Realizing how dangerous it would be for her to remain alone in a foreign country without identification, Michael promises to help her get out of Somalia. For now, though, she has no choice but to stay with them, and this is where Lost Horizon begins. As they approach the border, Michael instructs Amelia to hide in the back.
Must have slipped my mind. Thanks for catching that, officer. All good. You can go.
Thankfully, they manage to pass through the checkpoint without trouble. But not long after, they are suddenly attacked by a group of rebels. Despite the danger, Michael and his team manage to fight back, and a gunfight breaks out before they finally escape.
Copy!
Later, they stop at a gas station to rest, only to find it completely destroyed and unusable. With no better option, they decide to set up camp there for the night. The next morning, they continue their journey and eventually arrive at the military base. Upon arrival, they are greeted by Sergeant Vincent, who immediately escorts Michael to meet Major Thompson, since their arrival is already one day late. Amelia wants to come along, but Michael refuses, explaining that the meeting is classified. In the briefing, Michael explains that the delay was caused by an ambush that forced them to spend the night in the open. Major Thompson understands. He goes on to explain that despite what the media reports, Somalia is still filled with rebel groups and hidden interests that benefit from keeping the illusion of peace. These groups want chaos so they can continue their illegal operations without interference. He also warns that Michael's mission is extremely dangerous. The rebels are well armed and ruthless. Still, the dam project must move forward, both to improve civilian life and to strengthen regional stability through the military base.
Make sure you get this project done.
Will do, sir.
You're dismissed.
After the meeting, Michael is instructed to meet with the former contractor to collect the site survey report before construction begins. Before long, Michael and his team finally meet the contractor at a small bar. The man explains that during the survey process, he lost many of his workers due to rebel attacks and landmines scattered throughout the project area. Hearing this, Michael expresses his sympathy for the losses. Just as the atmosphere begins to settle, everything suddenly changes. A rebel disguised as a waiter launches a surprise attack. Michael manages to dodge and fight back, but the attacker escapes. Tragically, a stray bullet hits Amelia instead. She is rushed to the hospital and placed under the care of Dr. Clark. After the initial treatment, Dr. Clark meets with Michael and explains that Amelia is in critical condition and will need long-term care. He tells Michael to continue his mission and assures him that the hospital will provide updates if her condition improves. However, beneath his calm demeanor, it becomes clear that Dr. Clark has disturbing intentions. He begins treating Amelia not as a patient, but as prey. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, the rebel group prepares under the command of Tungela. He reports directly to their leader, Carlos. Carlos already knows that Michael is still alive, and even worse, that a journalist has been injured. He fears this incident could attract international attention. Feeling threatened, Carlos orders Tungela to do whatever it takes to eliminate Michael. To them, the dam project is a serious threat that could destroy the power and profit they have long controlled. After the attack, Michael meets with Major Thompson to demand answers. He feels the ambush was too organized to be random. From the moment he arrived, it seemed clear that he was being targeted. Hearing this, Major Thompson concludes that the attacks are most likely connected to the dam project. He also reveals that the situation has become more complicated due to internal conflict between himself and Colonel Collins. He suspects that the attacks may be linked to Collins, but Michael refuses to jump to conclusions. He decides not to accuse anyone until he speaks directly with Colonel Collins. However, once Michael leaves the room, a hidden truth is revealed. Sergeant Vincent is secretly working as an informant for Carlos. He quietly reports everything Michael and Major Thompson discussed, including their suspicions and plans.
Make sure to keep him off my track.
Later that afternoon at the construction site, Terry and Dutch report that all landmines in the area have been successfully cleared. Suddenly, a woman is detained for entering the restricted zone without permission.
Okay, let me go, you...
Her name is Leia, and she turns out to be the daughter of Colonel Collins. Wanting to avoid further tension, Michael orders his men to bring her to meet Major Thompson. During their meeting, a brief but tense discussion takes place. Major Thompson openly tells Leia that her father has become an obstacle to the government's plans. He also makes it clear that sooner or later, the government will move forward with reclaiming the land owned by Collins. On the other side of town, before heading to Collins' place, Michael stops by the hospital to check on Amelia. Something feels off when a nurse tells him that Amelia does not want to see him and that Dr. Clark is not on site because he is on leave. The situation immediately raises suspicion, but with his team waiting, Michael chooses not to act just yet. Not long after, Michael finally meets Leia. During their conversation, he offers a reasonable solution regarding the dam project and her father's land. He explains that he wants to speak directly with Colonel Collins to resolve everything through discussion rather than conflict. Before long, that meeting takes place. At first, Collins is wary of Michael and assumes he has come to pressure him into giving up. But as the conversation continues, Michael remains calm and respectful, presenting practical solutions. He explains that the dam's design can still be adjusted so it will not damage Collins' property or cause flooding. Even so, Collins doubts that Major Thompson would ever approve such changes, given their strained relationship. Michael reassures him that he can handle the negotiations. In the end, Collins agrees and places his trust in him.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're going to keep me in the loop at all times.
Absolutely, Colonel. You have my word.
As promised, Michael brings the revised plan to Major Thompson. Surprisingly, Thompson has no objections at all. He admits that he does not fully understand the terrain and only cares that the project is completed on time. Hearing this, Michael finally feels a sense of relief. Just as things begin to settle, a loud explosion suddenly echoes through the area. Michael and the others rush toward the source and discover that one of Leia's workers has stepped on a landmine while riding on horseback. Michael helps Leia rush the injured man to the hospital. Once there, Michael again asks a nurse about Amelia. He is told that Dr. Clark took her away earlier that morning. The nurse points him toward Dr. Clark's office, where Michael quietly slips inside and manages to photograph the doctor's home address. As he leaves the room, another nurse discreetly approaches him and slips him a small note. It is a desperate plea for help from Amelia. Trusting his instincts, Michael follows a strange man heading toward the hospital basement. There he discovers that the area has been turned into an illegal bar. To his shock, the man is the same one who shot Amelia at the cafe. The man is speaking with Tungala. Before Michael can react, he is spotted. Tungala and his men flee immediately, and Michael gives chase. A brutal fight breaks out, and he quickly finds himself overwhelmed by two powerful attackers. Just in time, Dutch arrives and saves him from being killed. After the incident at the hospital, Michael gathers his two closest allies to talk about the desperate note Amelia had left behind. From that message alone, they become even more convinced that Dr. Clark is involved in something far darker than they first believed. Once a plan is in place, Michael and his team begin tracking down Dr. Clark's home. Because the location is hidden and nearly impossible to reach by land, they decide to approach it using a small aircraft. At the same time, Dr. Clark keeps Amelia restrained inside a remote room, telling her to stay calm as if nothing is wrong. Meanwhile, Michael and his team successfully reach the house and begin searching the area. Inside, they discover files and photographs of women who vanished after being treated at the hospital. The evidence makes it clear that Dr. Clark has been selling his victims to rebel groups. Not long after, Michael finds Amelia being held captive and quickly helps her into the car. As they attempt to escape, Dr. Clark chases them down, forcing their vehicle to crash into a large rock. Even while badly injured, He manages to stab Michael and nearly kills him. In a final moment of desperation, Amelia grabs a weapon and shoots Dr. Clark first, saving both of their lives.
Foster.
6 months later, Michael and Amelia finally get married. But their happiness does not last long. On their wedding day, an assassin disguised among the guests opens fire and kills Amelia at the altar. Terry and Dutch chase the attacker as he tries to escape, but Michael is left shattered as he watches his wife die in front of him.
Who sent you?
Consumed by rage, Michael tortures the assassin without mercy. Terry eventually stops him, reminding him that they still need information. During the interrogation, they learn that the killer was sent by the rebel group. Even then, the threat is far from over. The rebels strike again by kidnapping Leia, the daughter of Colonel Collins. They do this because they are running out of human trafficking victims. Although their leader, Carlos, understands the serious consequences, Tungala is confident that kidnapping Leia will draw Michael out so they can kill him once and for all. Meanwhile, Colonel Collins goes to Major Thompson and begs for help to rescue his daughter. Thompson understands his pain as a father, but refuses to send military support, fearing that a large operation would disrupt the fragile peace and damage political stability. Disappointed and helpless, Collins leaves.
I'll do this on my own.
Not long after, Michael approaches Collins and offers to help. Once he learns about Leia's kidnapping, he volunteers to lead the rescue mission. Given his history with the rebels, he believes this is the moment to end everything. He and his team begin preparing for a final operation to destroy the rebel group and save Leia. With guidance from Sergeant Herman, a trusted ally of Collins, they track down the rebels' main base. During the planning, Michael questions how Tungala's group managed to obtain such heavy weapons and large numbers of landmines. Collins explains that their resources come from illegal wildlife trafficking, including rhino horns and elephant ivory. Before long, Michael leads the operation near the enemy base.
There's a map of the rebel camp.
As part of the plan, he allows himself to be captured so he can get inside the rebel camp. Meanwhile, Herman, Dutch, and the rest of the team stay hidden outside, waiting for the right moment to move. After his capture, Michael is thrown into a cell alongside Leia. Once Tungala realizes that Michael did not come alone, he immediately orders his men to hunt down the rest of the team. A massive firefight erupts in the forest as rebel forces clash with the soldiers.
Contact! Help! Contact! Right!
In the middle of the chaos, Michael manages to escape with Leia. He takes down several rebel commanders along the way before rejoining his team in an all-out battle.
Contact! Right!
In the end, they overpower the enemy forces and successfully bring Leia to safety. Elsewhere, Sergeant Vincent tries to contact Carlos, but the line is already dead. After Leia is safely returned to her father, Michael, Terry, and Dutch regroup and begin tracking down the remaining rebels who managed to flee. Meanwhile, after losing many of his men, Tungala considers ending his partnership with Carlos. However, he is quickly reminded that Carlos gave them power, protection, and a way of life. Convinced once again, they gather at a warehouse to move their illegal goods, including stolen elephant ivory. Unaware that they are being watched, Michael and his team quietly surround the location and launch a surprise attack. Not long after, Vincent appears, but Carlos coldly kills him, deciding he is no longer useful and has made too many mistakes. Another intense firefight breaks out. Michael goes after the rebel leader, while Terry pursues Carlos.
Been waiting for this for a long time.
Michael soon realizes that this leader was the one who ordered Amelia's murder. As the man tries to escape, Michael finally ends him with a barrage of gunfire. Elsewhere, Tungala nearly kills Terry, but Michael arrives just in time. He takes over the fight and ends Tungala's life by forcing him into a grinding machine. In the end, the battle is finally over, and the war they fought so hard to survive comes to a close. So the moral of the story is never trust a calm doctor, never stop at random places, and definitely do not accept a job that comes with explosions and kidnappings.